So ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you this lovely man, Sukhi Wahiwala, who's an absolute legend. A round of applause, please.
First things first, thank you very much for being here this evening. And thanks a lot for turning up. It's a really, really nice turnout. I think you guys, Saf, Alid, and the whole team, Khalid, etc., the whole team, Ali, did a brilliant job in my opinion. If we can hear you without this, it might be a good idea to we'll see a little bit today. Right, so this evening, we're going to do something a bit different. It's a bit of a conversation around my journey without it's a bit of a metaphoric conversation, but I'll cover some techniques and strategy as well. And something in the region of, I've usually got a 12-step strategy, which I allow to go through the process. I've taken 4 of them, which are the key strategies, and bring them today. So something different, something warm, something that should push you a little bit further forward, hopefully. Okay, so this evening, who here would like to start or grow their current business? Okay. Maybe we'll start again. So now I'm going to cover a little bit of house ground rules. It happens every single time. So if I could just have everybody just, if you don't mind, put your hand this sort of level. About here. How committed does that feel? Time we are now. Yeah? So I'm just going to ask one question. Just change the physiology. Bring it straight up. Put your hand up. Does that change something? Does it feel a little bit more committed? Honestly. It does. So the only one thing I'll request as a humble gesture is if you can commit to yourself. That would be really helpful. Basically, put your hand up as high as you possibly can. So, let's start again. Who here would like to start or grow their career? Thank you. And if you haven't got your hand up, I'm asking what you're doing in this room.
Enjoying the curry.
You know, I can't argue with that one. Networking? Yeah, so hand up, that's great. Okay, how about more successful in life and business? If you notice, I've used the word life and business together, which is usually a context of spirituality and academia in business. Usually they're kept way apart, aren't they? Okay, great, thank you very much. This is a cool one. How about financially free? No? Financially free? We should. Is that better? Here better? Okay. So if you can't hear me, please put your hand up and let me know. We're practice. Financially free. Can anybody, I'm going to pick on somebody with a really pinstripey, cool-looking shirt. Can you give me an example of what you classify as financially free? Don't forget, there's not a wrong or a right answer. This is just a journey that comes together.
My opinion of being financially free would be to be able to travel as and when without having to worry about my cost factor.
Travel without having to worry about cost factor.
That my income is secure, and I have a cash flow regardless.
Regardless, so an automated cash flow, yes. Okay, does everybody agree with that?
Yeah. Financial freedom is when your expenditures don't exceed your income.
Okay, yeah.
So, you don't have to be a millionaire. You don't have to be in millions. It could be like your expenses are £1,500 a month, and you've got passive income of £2,000 a month. You're financially free.
Okay. So did you hear the second time he explained that? He used a specific word, and it was called passive income. Because if your income is greater than your expenses, you're not financially free. You're actively working for it. Yeah? If you're passively working, this is not kind of working today, but I'll try my best. It's a matter of being automated. Automated, passive, something that you've invested in that's paying out as you go across. I'm going to carry on without this if you don't mind. I know it is going to be there. I'll speak louder. Is it okay? Just keep everybody focused a bit more. So, the key element is to be passively automatically automated something that's coming in your income, in your bank account, that's above your outgoings and expenditure. Is that fair? Being able to travel without thinking about where my income is coming from or going to. Yeah, cool, great. You won't believe how many people I've spoken to that don't actually know what they think financial free is. They usually live with somebody else's version of this. Quite interesting. Okay, so how about share success tips with your family and your friends, your loved ones? Does that interest anybody? For me, that's the primary reason I do this. My daughter's here actually, which is good. Yeah. So she follows me whenever I'm in Birmingham area, because she's studying at Aston Uni, so she follows me around wherever I go. And also Gary, which actually is my family. Earlier on I've said that my daughter and Gary, which up until today was Kevin. Just for your reference. Okay, so financial freedom in focus. I've got a lot of diversity in here. I can see lots and lots of different types of businesses enacting, lots of people facing businesses, facing charitable trusts, choosing to talk about charity in focus. It's going to be a fun journey today. Okay. Please, if you can, if anybody's got a pen and paper or something they can write on, yeah? Because writing is rather powerful. There's a gentleman called Professor Cartesian. What he does is he asks you to write things down. There's an element of three things: the thoughts, the physicality of your pen, and also the visualization of seeing what you're writing, which makes an impact on your unconscious mind. Okay? So if you can just write down, if you don't mind, just write very quickly why you're here today. Everybody has a reason to be here. And it could be just as simple as networking. But the networking asks the question behind it: what's the purpose of networking? Please, just write that down. By the way, no one's going to shout this out. This is a very private journey. The point is to put some effort on your own outcomes. That's the vision. So what is your main objective? This is objective. What I would like to come away with today. After I finish today, if I get this one thing, it was worthwhile. Please take the effort of writing it down. When you put it down on paper, you'll see that the universe, I believe in God, so whether we replace God with the word universe or anything you want to do is luck, it will start producing it. The aim is to focus one's conscious brain on the point that we're trying to achieve. So, if you just write down what would the one thing you get the objective from today. It's rather hard to say it as it really is. A lot of the time, the reason why I share, this is not for you to share. I never said you're going to have to share the video. It's a personal journey. Because a lot of people start living up to what other people want of them, instead of being truly honest with themselves. So it's trying now to be honest with yourself. Being honest with yourself. Because the only person that's going to gain anything from today, I hope in a humble way, is you. If I can take you forward just one step in your business life, your home life, it'll be the best thing, best outcome for me today. Today it's not about me. I'm not here to try and show anything. I'm a service person. I help people to get from wherever they aim to get from to where they want to get to. Okay, great question. Who is actually fearful of running a business? The rest of you are super. Even to this day, I started multiple businesses and made very much a success out of them. Even today, you still have to have that fear. The fear is a fear of the unknown. It's not fear of, oh my God, I want to freeze and not do anything. It's about focusing one's brain, right? So I'll just once again, who's fearful in business? Because nobody really knows when they're going to disappear. No one knows when they're going to leave this planet or this earth. What happens if you haven't sown and tidied everything up? What happens if I took out your business today, right now? God forbid. So what would happen to your business? Now ask the question again, who actually has a little bit of fear in business? Should be all of us. Okay, thank you very much. This is just to get people in the frame, by the way. This is not about anything more than that. I'm going to cover a lot of content here. Who sells things for a living? Selling is trading, right? I'm trying to make sure that I'm not actually in front of this, so I can see, you'll see me moving around a lot so that everything's on the screen. This is the way I do it. Selling is trading, right? So please open. Clear? Training A for B. Who thinks that we're already all in business? Because a lot of people didn't put their hand up. This is a business networking. Of course, we're trying to move ourselves further forward, but we're all trading right now, aren't we? How's about these 4 areas? Time. Oops. How about time, money, emotion, services? The time it took, you could be somewhere else, right? You just traded your time to be in this room. Definitely yourself who said, don't do networking in the evening. So it's a stretch, but we actually traded the time. Could be somewhere else, couldn't we? Please, anybody take as many pictures as you want of the screens. Mo, I'm not precious about my IP. Please take as many as you want. If it's important to you, please take it. It's not a problem. Sorry? Yes, absolutely. No problem. As I said, you're precious to you. No, I'm not worried at all. So the emotions, the fact that we turn around and have a partner relationship with something, whether it's in business, whether it's in social life, domestic life, parental life, we all have a trade of some kind. A for B, B for C. Yeah? I had this debate once and people said, no, I don't trade when I'm at home. Love is unconditional. It is. It is unconditional. But we do it for ourselves. There's a me involved. Because if you don't see yourself in the third person, how do you love them? We'll have that debate later. Okay, running a family is the same as running a business. The skills are the same. Probably don't agree. I think genuinely. So here we go. If we looked at this, planning, management, cash flow, products, sourcing. Now we know what some of the best product sources in Birmingham sitting here. But product sourcing, stock control, time management. Can you see the screen? Yeah? Keep moving. Keep dodging till you get through. The thing is, I'm not the type of person who sort of likes to stand kind of here, but I can if you really want to. Okay, so let's go through this, just very, very quickly. Family, planning. Who doesn't plan holiday breaks? Yeah. You don't? Yeah, but then on the other side, you do the planning of business, right? Yeah, this will be one or the other. Management. What about washing, ironing, gardening? Delegation, a business action, right? So we're still in business, aren't we? Cash flow, household spending. How's about we get through spending, a process of spending, and think, well, do you usually wait until there's no money left in the till? Or do you try to cash flow that a little bit? Yeah, manage it a little bit. How about product sourcing? Clothes, shoes, toys, children, anything that they want. Good product source family. In fact, the best product sources are probably at home. Ones are sitting in their own place. How's about stock control? Groceries. Who waits until there's nothing on the shelf? Hand up. Unless you're a student, and I know you're okay. How about time management? Getting to school, getting to work. Husband, wife, did you see sales influence? Husband, wife, husbands don't realise that they're actually influencing and selling, even between husband and wife, partners. Sometimes you want to go out somewhere. Yeah, look at this person and laugh over here. Honesty's coming up now, probably. Yeah. Because it's the truth. We picture ourselves, don't we? Internally. We say, you know, it's going to be a lovely evening. So we then convince people, we influence them to come forward with us. Marketing. Who has parties? You don't want to see how many people I'm in environments with when they say, I have never marketed, I'm no good at it. Oh, right, so have you ever had a birthday party? Have you ever called anybody up and said, would you like to come around? Is anything different to that than selling and marketing? Is it the same? Principal skills are the same, aren't they? Yes, of course you need to hone them. Okay. The toughest opponent, bar none, is the one that's inside your own mind. That's the only person you've got to convince, right? Because the moment you believe The moment it's focused, once you think you can see, or at least make an effort to get the answer, you'll start moving toward it. It's quite simple. It's not boring anybody. It's a lot of blank looks. I like you. Nobody else spoke. This is like, it's too much information now. Okay, right, let's get on with this. So why about me? I'm going to give you a little bit about this. This is very, very quick. I'm not here to try and impress or push upon people. But my most important line is the top line. That's where it's in colour. I'm a father of 4 and a husband and a son. This is the most important part of my life. I'll explain later why. Why? What's important about being myself? Sorry. An award-winning mentor, skilled person, selling, all that sort of stuff. Yes, absolutely. They mean a lot to me as being recognised, but that's it. They don't change me as a human being. My absolute necessity is to connect on a humane level and actually be really humble and safe and serviced. So if you find that I can help you, I'd love to. At the age of 21, I hit my first turnover by selling this man's product. So, by Nazir, I would call him. Basically, I sold his gear and I sold £1 million of the stock for the very first time at the age of 21. If that's valuable to you, I became a multi-millionaire at 25. So it was real estate, importing on my own, selling other things, car audio. Financially free at 27, I never needed to work any further. This is just to give some information. It's not an important slide for me, but sometimes it's important for some people to think, oh, maybe listen to this guy. Maybe this is an important slide for you. So that's why I cover it. Is it okay if I carry on? Yeah. My important slide is here. This is my family. This is me. This is my wife. This is my daughter. Sorry, I'll come here so you can all see. This is my eldest daughter who's sitting here. This is the second eldest and the youngest. And no, this is not me. This is my son. Yes, he is virtually a carbon copy. This is the way it is. I'll say that's a good thing instead of a bad thing. And this is them being super serious. Because in life we have to be really serious, right? That's how you're supposed to do business, aren't you? Really serious. No, it's the exact opposite. The more free flow, the more childlike we become, the better we have a true understanding of the person standing in front of us. And this is the core of my life. My parents, my mum, my father. They basically have nurtured me in every which way, and I humbly offer anybody to understand that all of my heaven, earth, God is in their feet. And that's where I'm sitting. So I stand on stages all across the world, and I share about them first. So now I feel as I can talk about myself. So with wealth, with a bit of influence, with power maybe you can say, in one sense, one should have some kind of focus with it, right? It should have a focus with it, right? We should do something to help other people. So, I sit on wisdom boards for ATL, which is the Association of Transformational Leaders. Has everybody heard of Jack Canfield?
Yep.
Yeah? Okay, it's founded by him, so I've been recognized by that org in America, and I'm so humbled to be in that circle to try to help. I actually built the whole structure and strategy around the organization with the original founders. I've worked with UN trustees. I'm the founder and joint founder of Seek Entrepreneur, which is a worldwide organization. We'll be using work funding. We do a lot of work through there to help people to make the market themselves. By the way, it's not just a Seek Entrepreneur program. It's about anything. It's just basically attracting the right people to get some change. The rest, I'll just leave it with you. You've been humbled to be judged in many different ways. They're all voluntary positions. This is what it's all about in change. I want to get to the more crux of, get some more information forward if I can, so I'm just going to speak through this if it's okay. Translating the visions, moving them forward. So why would I want to share my journey, which is the key part, which is what happened for me in 2006. What changed was that I nearly died. I had a health experience. Basically, in 2006, in January, I contracted hepatitis A, which is a liver virus, through eating raw fish. Okay? So I didn't realize it was there. It took me some time to realize it was in my system. I'm actually a non-drinker, so at that particular time, I had a very good, healthy liver, which actually helped me survive. So everything in life happens for the right reason, right? So here we are. I went through there 13 months in mid-July of 2006. I collapsed, and I spent a lot of time away from my group of companies without any announcement. I went through £3.5 million worth of loss in cash, by the way, not in asset value. In asset value, it didn't make much difference. It's just cash flow. So we went through this stuff. I reassessed people. I became a specialist in how to reform and reorganize your companies. Okay. So the question I asked myself, and maybe some of these questions are good for you. Do we do things in a conscious way? I'll just repeat that if I want. Do we do things in a conscious way in life? Do we actually really evaluate our world? Do we really think, what journey am I actually on? How am I going to achieve, or what am I going to leave here on this planet? Do we actually go through that? So I actually had to go through this in 2006 or 2007, 8, when I came back to the world, and I decided that I need to see, have I even got a mission? How many people are actually running their life without a mission, without a purpose, without a simple statement that really engages them, switches them on, makes them work every morning, makes them want to open their eyes, just want to go into the shower, come out and do something special? What missions are there? If you haven't got a mission, I'll humbly say, please find one. Write it down and just watch your world amplify. Because today's about finding your hidden potential. And this is what a lot of people miss. Do I have more to do on this planet? Key question for me. What needs to change in my world today? Do I even need to do something different, or am I doing it perfectly? And should I just amplify it, do a bit more, which is what needs to change? Is there a bigger purpose for me? Is there a bigger purpose for me as well? Am I supposed to do something else as well as what I'm doing now? Because I'm telling you now, when I started at 17 years old, I'm not doing that business today. So is there something else? Always look to think, have I got to go somewhere else in the world? By the way, I do apologize in advance if I tend to work in a very internal way. I like every single person to take a personal journey, because this is not about me. All I am is a facilitator. So I appreciate there'll be a lot of quietness here, a lot of internalization, and I really am appreciative of that. So thank you in advance for thinking of yourself, actually. Yeah. Is there the need of a new motivation? Because most people think motivation is standing on stage saying, yes, come on, stand up, let's go, let's go. Motivation is an internal drive towards something. There's two types of energies, toward and away from. And an away from energy is like a turbocharge in your world. It gets you to do things very quickly, but it also tails off quickly. So for example, if this was a flame, and I put my finger into the flame, I'm going to put it out very quickly, aren't I? Well, I hope so, anyway. So that's what we call an away from energy. So something could be, I don't want to be broke ever again. I don't want to be misinterpreted ever again. I don't want to be in a relationship that I don't believe in again. So these are away from energies. These could really propel people to get them to achieve things in life, their own potential, unlocking it. But then we also have what's called a toward energy. A toward energy is a slow and steady, but very secure uplift in energy, in focus. That is, this is what I want to achieve. It's goal oriented. So you could use an away from energy to turbocharge your mission, and at some point replace it with a toward energy, something bigger. So this is why I ask everybody to think again. What's my new motivation today? If that could be your one thing you want to take away, maybe I want to learn myself. And then a really key question: am I actually fully engaged? Am I actually engaged in my life? How often do I look at my partner, my child, my parent, my friend, and actually not really with them? I'm just looking at them. My mobile phone's in my hand and I'm checking out status reports. Or I'm SMSing and my child's standing there saying, Dad, can I have this? Can I have that? How often does that happen in your world? Ask yourself the question, is that really how I want to live the world? Do I really want to show up in the world like this? Let me tell you, it's a time management process. The moment I started becoming present in my world, all of a sudden I got more done. There's a little trick there. The moment I became more present in this world, the more I got done. Because I was much more effective in the time space that I allocated to do something. One of my missions and visions in life is to share there is time for everything in life. Because everything has a time. Allocate that time for it, and it'll get done. Okay, who has ever failed in business? Remember the arm? Yeah. Half failed, fully failed. I'm proud. Well, yes, we should all have said yes, we have failed in business. Or anything you want to talk about. Maybe you haven't done so. But I've got a real weird approach to that. My father taught me when I was younger, he said, son, never work with people who have not failed in business. Because they will not truly, or not lost money, they will not truly have valued it in the first place. Is that a nice picture? She's making sure I'm working the picture, you notice? Go away, hurry up, get out of the way. As I said to you, the point is, when you have the 911 on your driveway, when it's not there, when you truly understand, it's kind of not there. And I've met so many thousands of that people come and say, "Do you know, the next time that car's on there, I'm going to clean it every day. I'm going to polish it. I'm not quite going to do as many fast corners and speeds." Does that make sense? Just this sort of thing. I'm giving you a small example. We've got to lose something sometimes to gain it. Love in relationships. So my mission today is to inspire, to create change in your world, even if it's just that little bit. So I hope you allow me and bless me to do that journey. So, what actually, let's get some science in here now, what actually drives you to take action? One person? Just put your hand up. And your name? Imagine. Please. Fear of loss, which is an away from energy, isn't it? So yes, a fear of loss is one. One more person? Success. Success drives you to take action, isn't it? Yeah? But I'm fear of failure, fear of loss, fear of failure. So away from energy?
Heartache.
Heartache. See, there's a bit of a commonality, isn't there? Besides yours. Yeah. But we've got a commonality here. The question I'm asking is what truly makes us take action. So it's beyond and below and underneath. What is the foundation behind that? There's a gentleman called Alfred Korzybski. Korzybski is a Polish American. If you've read, have you heard of him? Second person in over 200 keynotes who said, I've known. I'd like to. Thank you. Because Alfred Korzybski wrote a beautiful book in 1933, and it's called Science and Sanity. It's a damn hard book to read, but boy, has it reframed the whole of psychology, modern psychology we know today. You will find little paragraphs that have been made into complete philosophies. That's how powerful this thing is. He goes on to say, we are meaning-making machines. So we are a machinery that does nothing but make meaning of everything. Sitting here, putting my hand up, not putting my hand up, it's somebody else's. There's a meaning. The meaning behind loss, behind deceit, behind the toward and away from energy. I'm going to go deeper. Before any action to do, and before any action not to do. That sounds really odd, doesn't it? How can you have an action not to do? How's that an action? Tried it once, it's failed, yeah. But in context, thank you for that. In context, that means, or does it mean, that the action to do and not to do is actually the same. We're actually going through the same process to not do something than we are to do. Because he goes on and says that nothing happens without a meaning. To not turn up here is an act as well. I decide to go somewhere else. There's a meaning, right? Every time a meaning is made, we're talking about automation earlier on. I'm giving you the secrets of automation. The moment you make a meaning, you automatically take an action. Do you understand that? The moment you make a meaning, you automatically take an action. Without even thinking about it, an action is taken. Positively or negatively. To do or not to do. Behind every single action, you will automatically have a meaning assessed towards it. He goes on to say, who's heard this before? The map is not the territory. Who are our commercial traders here? Anybody train corporate? Okay, the map is not the territory, is used very heavily within NLP. But it's not this. What's this? He wrote that. Who actually would like to have a go at explaining what that means? I'll move on then. I'll do it for you. Okay, the map is not the territory. What this means is basically, makes sense. That's yours over there, right? Cloud? So it's yours, yeah? Okay. So this makes sense, cloud accountancy practice. The question I ask you, is that cloud accountancy practice? Does this actually make sense? Yeah? Is this actually, do you go to work in this leaflet? I'm not trying to ridicule you, I'm saying, but just trying to work something out. Do you actually go to work in this leaflet? No. No. So what is this then?
It's an emotional flyer.
An emotional flyer.
It's information.
Information. It's a representation. A representation of his company and his services that he does. Is that right? So now could this be the map? Well, it is. If this was a map of Birmingham, we're here physically, you draw it on the map of Birmingham. I thought there might be a map on the Birmingham. So yeah, it would be a map of Birmingham. This wouldn't actually be Birmingham, would it? This would be clearly a representation of Birmingham. So it has coordinates on it. The point being, this map is actually your brain. It's your brain. So your brain is a representation of the outside world. Because no two people, whether we spend 24 hours a day together, will have the same version of the same world. We all have a different version. So what does this mean? Does this mean that we actually have a different version of the world? Every single one of us? 100%. So where's this going with? Okay, so here's the map. Map is your mind. The territory is the world at large. Yeah. So the map is not the territory. Is a clarification that my model of the world isn't the real world. Does that make sense? It's just a representation of what's around me. See, I'm not sitting on this chair. I'm standing behind it. So I can't have the same realization as the gentleman sitting over here. So, this is an example. Linda, what do you see here? A clicker. Please describe exactly what you see here. It's not a trick question. It's just an opening of understanding.
Piece of plastic
Plastic.
mechanism which allows you to.
Okay, so let's go one stage further. You see, he's going through mechanical processes. What do you physically see? Are there any buttons? Is there any chrome there?
Button which allows you to decide
Right. So now, what colour is that?
silver.
So black. Yeah. Okay. Honey, what do you see?
A black
A black
control thing with
control thing.
with a yellow triangle at the back of the
Ah, yellow triangle.
and
yeah.
a rectangle, yellow.
And a yellow rectangle as well. So hang on a second. He's saying there's no yellow triangle or rectangle there. You're saying there's no buttons here. How could you not argue, really? It's just your representation of the same side, right? This is what happens in home arguments, in business arguments, in fallouts, in mediation. It's because you're not willing to see the other person's side of the world. But if I just did this, all of a sudden, you get a different version of the world, and you get a different version of the world. The point is, it's the same world, we're seeing it from different aspects. This is what he's trying to say. The map is not the territory. Is that helpful? So is there a secret in it? The secret is, yes, to step outside of myself and actually look to see what other people are seeing first. This releases hidden potential. We have 4 different types, and I'm going to point them out to you very quickly here. Who's done disc psychometrics before? Yeah? Excellent. Excellent. So now I'm going to show you disc psychometrics slightly differently. Yeah? Still the same, but it's in the purity of this. What's the power of this? What's the point? Dominant, influencer, stability, and compliant, or compliance, otherwise known as fabulous, depends on which school of thought you're running with. Personality types. The dominant type. Hey, Abby? You know I'm going to pick one. The dominant type are the people who have direct, strong will. Can be forceful, can also be less interactive, just straight to the point. They want to go exactly what they do. Does that make sense? And where's Abby? There he is, behind him. He knows what I'm talking about. We have 2 differences, but somehow the business works beautifully. He's a compliant C. Influencers, sociable, talkative, high octane, great energy, great communicators, inherent networkers. Yeah? They love communicating, love sales. Steadiness, heart-centered, gentle, accommodating. They care for other people. And they get the kick from caring for other people, making sure you've got enough water, making sure you've got enough food, catering, The type of person who just comes to your desk and pops down a cup of tea because you've not asked for it. It's just the love that they want to share with you. Yeah? Start realizing that whether you're this type of person or not. Compliant, private, analytical, focused, planned, strategic, step by step. Very good for finance because there's all compliancy there. Interesting. My own daughter is studying compliancy. She's in international finance. So. Is this helping at all? Just a little bit? Good. It's an internal. So here's the plus points of all of them. The direct dominant people are very, very good managing directors. They get straight to the point and drive. They usually have a problem though. They drive and they walk over people. They're not necessarily the nicest of people. And yes, you can start giggling by looking at some part of the business. That's the nature. So yeah, I kind of get what you mean. Then we have the influencers, an amazing sales department. An amazing sales department called influencers. They connect with people very, very quickly. But their downside is they're sometimes a bit too much on the energy side, and they start a few companies or ideas and never tend to finish them. Yeah, they start things and don't consistently become a serial starter. They don't necessarily close the deal or carry on completion. So those people in there, you're probably the first person to shake your head and say, yes, it's me, because you want the attraction. Yes, it's me. And then we have the steadiness people, which I shared before, who are great HR, community organisers within social constructs. And we have compliance people who are amazing accountability people. So great the accountability, legal, etc. compliance. Yeah. Hope this is helping you a little bit. Right, but the truth of the fact is that we must not box ourselves in. We are actually all full. Every one of them we're one. But then what's the secret? What goes on? How comes I'm saying there's a hidden key? The key is to truly understand. The key is to understand your natural and your adopted. And I'll explain what the natural and adopted is in a second. Yeah. Lovely hat. Nice relaxed attitude. Can't say it's all deep. No dominancy there. Natural is your internal state of affairs. My inside, how I will inside is represented. External is your adapted, is how I adapt in this current situation. Does that make sense? So, if anybody gets in what we call a stressed situation, we tend to forget everything else and just act how we want to be. We show up in the world how we truly are. Does that make sense? So stressed information, stressed environments gives us that impetus. So in this situation, God forbid, if there was a fire here, let me give you an example of each one of those four people. The D dominant will turn around and say, can you get up, get out, just leave your stuff, get out, come on, out. And we're pushing people out of the door. The I will make the first check and see where's the commotion, who's moving where, and I'll slip in with them. That's kind of cool. I'll follow you guys. And the S will turn around and say, can you get up? And I'll say, oh, I've left my clicker on the desk. Don't worry, I'll go and get it for you. So they'll put themselves in harm's way. Less self-value. And they'll shoot over right next to the fire, and they'll fight the fire off because they want to pick that clicker up for you, because they promised they will get it for you. No self-value. And the C's is fun part. They've already worked out the exit plan before they even come in the room. Compliance, strategy and structure. So where's the fire exit? Okay, go ahead. It's out straight away. So where's the secret? Where's the benefit? The benefit is to truly understand your own internal. So many psychometrics I've seen where people don't separate adapted and natural. They just tell you you're adapted, and so this is what you're doing currently now. So you're mismatched in your current job or in your life, and you're thinking, why am I so low in energy? How come I'm not focusing on things? How come I'm starting so many things and not completing them? It's because we're not in the right job. We don't match our psychometric index. Yeah? So the purpose or the benefit would be to make sure you do an assessment which gets you to your inners first, to understand your natural way of seeing the world. Because trust me, if you're in your natural, you'll never feel down. You're always in flow. Does that make sense? You always feel energetic about what you're doing in your day. So, remember this one? Keep your friends close and keep your enemies closer. It's a proverb type conversation. My view is keep your strengths close and keep your weaknesses closer. So if you're a dominant D, realize that you might trample over people and might not listen to them. Keep that close to yourself and say, okay, so how do I show up in the world? How can I be helpful to somebody else as well? If you're an S, and you don't think about yourself, that's weakness. So I want you to think, how can I actually help myself as well? Have self-value. So look for positives and negatives and things and keep them close to yourself, and keep your weaknesses closer. Focus on the strengths of your own self, but also remain fully aware of your own weaknesses. Because that's how you become a rounded individual. That's how you can stand and talk to people in a nice way. For example, do I come across pushy today? No? Do I come across as though I care? As though I'm thinking about your journey and not just mine? Yeah? Well, if I told you that I was a 98% D, would that seem a big, weird mismatch? Does that mean I should be trampling on you? I don't really care whether I'm listening to you, whether you listen to me. I'm not engaging for any eye contact. I'm bothered. But it's not true. Because I know where my strengths are, and I also know where my weaknesses are. So I keep them close. So I'm always aware of subservience and helping people. Because my nature would be to knock people out, and I don't want to do that anymore. Does that make sense? So here's how we evolve. I'm taking the learning journey as well. So which matches you? Would I just take 10 seconds of your time and just write down D, I, S, or C? What matches you? So the next process is to understand my current weaknesses. And the reality is, a D is not very good, a dominance is not very good in accountability. An I is definitely not good at accountability. But they're also not good at completing. An S is definitely not good at thinking about themselves or even having any value for what they are delivering in the world. They just want to serve other people. And a C is definitely not the type of person who wants to stand on stage and sell, or even sell to somebody. Does that make sense? They'll do it by communication, by compliance, but that's it. So here's the point. Do we actually have to do everything in every part of our business? The answer is no. Why don't we identify who that we know currently can match in our group? So the things that I do not like doing, why don't we attract them people in our company? That would be nice, wouldn't it? I don't like selling, go and find yourself a salesperson. I don't like the PR, go and find yourself a PR person. I don't like the accountability, I don't like sitting in front of the screen, so find somebody who loves that. Find the people who love what you do not love. Does that make sense? Okay, so then, and only then can we create that power team that we require. The personality types, once again, just for your reference, is dominance, the influencer. Yeah. So the dominants and influencers are what we call extroverted individuals. The I and the C, the S and the C are introverted. They're people who rather be on their own when they're recharging, and the other ones are when they be with other people recharging. If you're an I and you're not spending energy, if you're a D and an I, you're not spending energy in networking, you're going to drop in energy. So you require other people's interaction. If you're an S and a C and all you're doing is networking all the time, you're not spending time on the self, you're going to drop in energy. Does that make sense? So if you've ever felt tired, exhausted, it's usually because of misalignment with oneself. Okay, if you'd like to do it, please take a picture of that. There's the Inspired College. Go online and do your self-assessment. It's an amazing process if you'd like it. I'll move aside if I can. If I keep doing this, then maybe everything. The Inspired College. Okay, it's very, very simple. It's a straightforward thing. I've got a couple of gifts for you as well, which I'll do later. How are some people more successful and happier in life? Is there a system they can follow? So I'm going to be very quick with this next section to give you as much impact as I possibly can. This is my version of how I have created, with God's blessings, what I can deliver today and leave my children. 4 areas: discipline, masterminding, mentoring, and sharing your learnings. Very, very important. I will repeat them in a second. I'll go through each one of them so you can understand how to actually gauge discipline, how to gauge the master that works for you, how to gauge the right mentor, or even if I need a mentor, how to gauge how to share my learnings properly. People don't systematically share their learnings. They're sharing it out of sharing information, saying, I just want to have a conversation with you. But you need to have a strategy behind sharing as well. Okay, so let's move on. Can I just ask everybody, please, if you don't mind, if you can see that screen, just pick one word quickly and write it down somewhere or tap it in the screen. It's very, very powerful for you. It will be very valuable. Please select one word. Are we good? to stand here so you can see it a bit better. I'm going to come back out in a second. Who wants to know what this means? Thank you. Would anyone like to share? Khalid.
Word cloud.
Word
Cloud.
cloud. Got it? Anybody else? Lady at the back. Control. Okay. Anybody else? Goals. How about yourself? Control. Willpower. Willpower. Don't worry about repetition. It's your word. Power. Focus. Would you like to know what this means? Action. Did you know this is your unconscious brain speaking to you? You're about to get a really, really big value. Just in case you know, just get leggy over here. Get any attention to it. Okay, here we are. This is what you are currently missing in life. Currently missing in life. I guarantee you your unconscious brain will never lie to you. If you've been quick at it, this is what you're missing in life. Go back to your control, go back to self-control, weakness, willpower. This is what you're currently missing in life. It's rather exciting, isn't it? So discipline. Have a clear end goal. This is very important. For discipline, you need to be very clear on where I'm actually going. In order to have discipline, I need to be going somewhere. You can't just have discipline over nothing. I've got to have an outcome. I've got to have a picture. Something that I'm trying to design or get to. Create a plan. Create a routine. All to support this discipline. Sorry? Habits, yes. Routine, habits. Habits can be positive, they can be negative as well. Habitually, you could not write anything down. Habitually, you could not follow the process or the habit. No, that's a habit as well. Those habits need to be identified and amended. Add meaning. If you don't add meaning, you've got no chance of committing to it. I say that now. It should be another goal or a New Year's resolution. Then you then commit to it, and then you should also understand, is this working for me? And repeat it. If it works for you, repeat it. Sorry, I'm talking to you. If you repeat it, get the same result or the desired result, which is most important. If not, evaluate and amend it. Okay, another word, please. Please write the first word that comes to you. At the back, I do apologize, there's a long room and you can't see some of the words. But just go for whichever one you can see. I'm only going to give you about another 10 seconds for this one. Who'd like to share the word they're looking at? Time. Time.
Sharing.
Sharing. Thank you. Community. Time. Encouraged. Unique. People. Susan, do you know this is currently what you are craving? Very true. Craving. What's the explanation for craving? Craving is when I'm attracted magnetically towards something and I can't even think about it. Somehow it's there, I need to go that way. So I'm craving something. So that word is craving for you. Interesting. So mastermind. Who knows how to assess a real mastermind? Here you are. This is true mastermind. Peer to peer. That means like-minded people are on the same journey as you. There's no point sitting with people who don't want the same as you. Who don't want to achieve something specific. Does that make sense? Like-minded individuals, dependable. What does dependable mean? Dependable means that when I say I'm going to give you a call, that I genuinely give you a call at 10 a.m. in the morning. There's no point in me saying I'm going to give you a call at 10 a.m. in the morning and not bother. If somebody says, I will keep an eye on you and I will be there for you, and then I'm not there, that's not dependable, is it? So many people that I know create a mastermind and they keep the momentum for 3 months, and after 90 days, it's like, yeah, I'm a bit busy, can't make it. I'll give you a call, how's that? Instead of turning up. Does that make sense? So get people who are committed. Surround them with you. Meet them regularly. Accountability buddies or partners, as we call it. Somebody who physically says, I'm going to check whether you've done what you said you're going to do. I'm going to set some tasks, and I'm going to check next week whether you've done them. I will help you if you haven't. Who would like something like this? Yeah, thank you. Half-hearted? Usual one. Thanks. Evaluation is key. Is this working for me? Do not mindlessly continue things which don't work. That's what we call habit. You just carry doing things that don't necessarily work for you in your own benefit. Seneca says, our plans miscarry because they have no aim. When a man does not know which harbour he is making for, no wind is the right wind. So that means I don't know where I'm going. I've got no intention. I don't know where my mission is. What am I trying to achieve? No matter what happens, I'm not going to get there. Yeah, because I don't know. It's a good chance. So on the positive side of it, what could be? The moment, the second. And by the way, I do apologise. Man as in mankind, I'm not ostracising females. In fact, 68% of people who work with me are ladies. Which harbour, the moment, the second, a man knows which harbour he is making for, any wind is the right wind. You can have a little breeze. You can have a little breeze and you can adjust your sails and still get where you want to go. Does that make sense? So get clear, get your plan right. There's still people already running a business. Revisit your plans. Re-look at your business plans. Who here actually has a clear business plan? Yeah, well, good for you. Who actually revisits? Yes, I'm sure there's it as well. Who actually revisits a business plan? Who would like a business plan? Simply sleep. Absolutely wait. The stars are wearing off, or they're catching up the cards already, right? Okay, who would like a business plan? Because I'll actually give one to you free. Please take a note of that. You're welcome to go through the process. It's a free process. There's no costs involved. DIY-businessplan.com. You're welcome. It's free. Please do. There's a load of books that you're given to you as well, by the way. So you'll have things for Rich, who's heard of Napoleon Hill. Yeah. Yeah. You'll have that free in a PDF format that you can reuse. I've already paid the license for it, so you're welcome to that as well. But the whole point of this is, why do I give this away? It's something I can charge for. Yes, of course, people say you get people in your fund. Well, actually, it's bigger than that. The bigger part of this is that I want everybody to have a plan. Because I realise how powerful it truly is. Okay, mentoring. Successful people never reach their goals alone. This is an absolute. One more word. One more word. Sorry? Mentoring. Anybody else? Learning. Change. 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 Anyway. Sorry? Person. Okay. Go back to know. Wisdom. What about noise takers? No. One's on their phones.
Actual wisdom.
Sorry?
Wisdom.
Wisdom. Good lady.
Change.
Change. Okay, great. This is what you're currently looking for. Right now. Interesting. Please do feel free to write that down. How many people want to see the last one again? There's no trick, by the way. 18 years I've been involved in the psychology realm. I understand this. But the only person who's truly aware of what you need is you. You've just never been in a situation where you've truly listened to yourself, fighting the noise, to listen to what's actually going on. That's why I go through all that process to start off. Okay. Mentoring. Identify a mentor in your field, not a coach. A coach does not need any experience in your field. A coach needs to be skilled to get you to peak potential. A mentor is somebody who's driven and walked the path you want to run. And it must be relevant to you. It must be inspiring. They must have clear expectations of you. You must say, this is what I'm aiming to do. They must have model. You must be able to model them, with inspiration. They must be inspiring. They must be able to stretch you. This gentleman over here said, I don't never believe it. He stretched himself, coming out of the comfort zone. You've got to get a mentor that stretches you and knows your weaknesses, pushes you in a situation, in a controlled environment. You must meet regularly. How many people say they've got a mentor, and the last time they spoke to them was about 6 years ago? You've got to ask good questions, which you get? Good answers. Thank you. Good questions, get good answers. Focused questions, get focused answers. Evaluate, is it working? Is this helpful? So that's what I can see how to find the right mentor. Okay, so Genuinely, most people think, why I don't need mentors? So if you're the cleverest person in the room, I'm afraid you're in the wrong room. You don't need to be here. You know? Just keep moving on. I know I'm running short on time. Can I have another 10 minutes? Is that okay? Is that okay with you else? Am I okay to push the barrier by 10 minutes so you get dinner slightly late?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Okay. We all know this gentleman, Richard Branson. He says, no matter how smart you are, or how brilliant or disruptive your business concept might be, every entrepreneur needs a good mentor. Don't care who it is. Every entrepreneur. The right mentor is like having a parent in life or business. How often can you go to a parent and say, or a friend, or a cousin, or an aunt, I'm in this problem, what do I do? How many people have not got something like that in their world, in their business world? That's how powerful a mentor is. A mentor will save you, in some cases, thousands of pounds and 10 years, 15 years of profit. Getting you there straight away. Because they've done that journey. My mentors, my father, my mum, the difference specifically with them is my father is a DI, dominant, growth, driven. My Nazir knows him very well. He was very much a visionary. He knew exactly where he was going. Very successful. My mum, on the other side, exactly the same, au fait with finances, very cost-centered, very supportive, very understanding of what the process, but trust me, she was compliant. She kept things in order. That's how it works. Okay, share your learnings. One of the final few stages. Share your learnings. Value your own progress. This is not an arrogant conversation. This is actually the exact opposite. It's I value myself because I see other people in me. Other people, I see myself in them as well. Does that make sense? So try to put effort into seeing and valuing yourself. Identify your learnings. There's no point sharing if you don't know exactly what you're about to share. Yeah? So always realize what is going to be beneficial to them. Is it just about me? Do I want to be clever? Is that what I'm sharing? Or am I truly wanting to serve somebody and take them just one step further forward? So a bit of humility is in that context. Always value yourself in your life. Because the worst person to harm yourself is actually you. You'll be the one who pulls yourself down quicker than anything else. I failed, I can't create, can't do this. One of our beautiful and amazing mentees of mine, she says, I love to fail forward. I love to fail forward. So always look to go forward with every failure. This is what I did, this is what didn't work, aha, this is how I can amend it, move forward. Sometimes you need somebody outside of your business to look on your business and give you some advice and guidance. Hence what a mentor is, yes? Or even a group. 4-step review, discipline, mastermind, mentoring, and share your learnings. Trust me, this powerhouses our own hidden potential. Knowing yourself, this elates yourself and makes you really clear about your strengths and weaknesses. So you don't go through life being blind on what I can achieve or what I cannot achieve. How I feel bad because I keep doing things that I don't really like doing. You know, I'm not the type of person to sit behind a screen. So I won't spend my time behind the screen. If you email me, use phone. SMS me at best. Yeah? Text me. If you email me, email Gary, because he'll manage it for me. This is a great part of my team. Okay, so we're just going into final sections. Who here has ever procrastinated? Let's be honest about it, yeah? Procrastination. Decided they're going to do something, thank you very much. You know, starting to do something and thought, you know what, I'll do it tomorrow. Manana. Yeah. I need a bit more research. I'm not quite sure. Yeah? I need to have a bit more sales before I do this. But actually what it is, I need to procrastinate every month. But there's fear of change, right? In context, there is a solution here. And I'm going to bring it to Birmingham very soon. If I can, if I get the support. I'm looking for people who would like me to work with them, if that's of any value to you. Why do we procrastinate? Because we have the wrong meanings attached to things. We attach them with different meanings that may be short-lived and very shallow. Does that make sense? We need deeper meanings. We need to understand truly why we do this. And this is the process that we go through, which I train with Gary, and we deliver this in a real humble way so you get it from inside yourself. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little solution. This is something that I'm bringing to the market. We already have been doing this for 3.5 years. It's an international product. It's in many countries. We're taking it across the water as well. And it is the business boardroom. Is it okay for me to talk a little bit about the business boardroom? If it's not, I'll skip through. Yeah? One person.
Yes.
So I don't want to be, pushy. I don't want to think that I'm trying to sell things to you. But I'm not shameful in selling because I know this product works. It's not about making money for you. Trust me, you're going to do 1,000 people, it will not make that money. There's not high cost involved. Okay. So the business boardroom, what does it do? It's a monthly structured mastermind. So every single month we get together and we focus ourselves in a core environment, up to 8 people only. Not a big room. There's another product called the Inspired Business Club. That's a different environment. This is actually a focused environment. We only have 8 people. It's networking with a focus on contribution and collaboration. Okay? There's a full accountability program online. We run cloud. We keep an eye on your actions that you need to do and what you say you're going to do. We find new partners. We find new people who are going to hold you accountable as well. It's very structured. That's my game. I don't like just meeting people and randomly saying, hello, I can help you, let's do this. And then 3 months later, I've got nowhere. Ours is very, very orderly and structured. So we have a stable, dependable group that you can depend on. Active, supportive business family. A little bit different, because most people in business tend to compete with each other. But in our organisation, nobody competes. You'll have no second person in the same environment, and we allow everybody to gel, communicate, and really the best friends come from us as well. We've got 3 great stories and track history where they've actually found their best friends in these environments. I hope that's helpful to you. This is what we cover. I'm going to do it quickly for you. Tested methods, mentoring, connection, contacts. We share our Rolodex with you. We connect you with the right people. Somebody wants to do it, we say, how about speaking to this gentleman over here, and we connect you correctly with good validation. Step-by-step actions. We monthly support. We give you coaching, networking. We give you cutting-edge news and technology. Full accountability, online cloud support. We help you. You can go around with an app. It's all there. You can go on your desktop. It's all there. Anything you want, whichever way you would like it. There's discipline. We focus you. We get you into step-by-step action mindset. We get you a complete goal-setting strategy. We get you clear on where you want to go and how you're going to get there. We make sure you understand yourself first. Your positives, your negatives, who you are as a person, so you can play at your best all of the time. Monthly buddying, incubation with ideas, inspiration, direction, self-explanatory, I won't go through too much. Masterminding, innovation, latest technology, we share the information with you. Introductions, we introduce you personally. Marketing, give you marketing strategies and education. We have people coming in to share the information with you. Collaboration, time-saving strategies. We're not all hitting the optimum of our time, are we? I myself am not as well, even though I run a multiple companies. Community and competitive edge. Community, people who said the community was missing, community is very key to us. You have a WhatsApp group, it's live, it's active, it's very private. No one talks about it, there's a Chatham House rule over the whole process. Hope this is valuable to yourself. We also, after every single session, every single month we have a session, 2 weeks later somebody from our team is engaging with you to see whether you can move forward, any challenges you've got to help you moving forward. I am in the room with you, whether that's of value, but abroad they like that, because mostly they always ask, well, are you in the room? I'm actually going to get some value from you directly. The answer is yes, I'm there personally. We always create all of your actions and put them into a simple step-by-step plan and strategy. There's nobody who I know who does complicated things. Everyone likes simplicity. If it's simple and it's aligned, they'll take action. These are just some images of worldwide environments that we've delivered in. Each one of them, there are different areas of the quarters, Prague, Slovakia, etc., England, UK, North, South. Soon we'll become to the So, if anybody would like to get involved, would anybody? Like to communicate, you see and test it and see it? It's a no committal situation, by the way. If you find at the end of that day it is not valuable to you, I'll refund your money. If it was a pointless waste of your time, we will apologise and shake your hand. That's absolutely no commitment at all. No big problem. If you do, Gary, put your hand at the back. There's Gary. If you feel, please do connect, do contact with him. I'll tell you the figures and the prices, and there is a process that you can go through today, and it's for Chutney and Chat. The price is $350. Anybody who's ever bought our products will know that we don't really discount, we don't do this sort of stuff. And it's not the American method where I'm trying to show you and drop your prices down. I really don't do this. We've only ever offered this price ever before once, and that was at the start of the year in February. So now, the price, if you'd like to take it up today, is only £197. £197, and you get a whole afternoon with myself in a complete strategy structure, and for one whole month you'll be back. We'll cover you, we'll look at everything you want to do, we'll go through the process with you, we'll help you get your actions in place for a whole month. We'll keep on top of you for a whole month. Just £197. I hope that's valuable in any way. This is actually the link if you'd like to take a picture and do it in your own time. Anybody who takes action tonight will actually get a personal one-to-one with me for 30 minutes as well. That's a guarantee. I'll sit there, Skype, phone call, whatever suits you, and I'll go through some set strategies to move yourself further forward. Whether it's a business idea, whether it's a function, whether it's a strategy, whether you want to plan, anything you want to cover for a whole half, please feel free. It's the business-boardroom.com/BBR-taster. Okay, so we're in to the end. I just want to leave you with a lovely thought. Has today helped in the slightest? Has any one person at least just moved a little bit further forward? If you learned one thing, yeah? Thank you. Thank you for showing up and letting me know as well. You know, feedback is super important for a speaker. Because this I don't do for financial gain, I'll tell you that now. If you know my strategy and how my work and my flow, of course, blessings and grace that I have enough to live off, very, very comfortably, and my family will for the rest of the days as well. But I'm here to serve, and I've gone through a process in those days where I realised that death is the end, and I need to serve something out, and I need to sort of help other people. Okay, so do we need faith? So the biggest question is, what is faith? In my world, faith is having trust in an external energy, belief in a trusted energy outside of myself. That means knowing that there is a downstairs, even though I can't see it right now. Knowing that there is a kitchen, even though I can't see it right now. Knowing there's trees in front of me, knowing there's something beyond those trees, and having the faith to believe in it. Yeah? Dr. Napoleon Hill, the one who wrote Think, Grow Rich, which we mentioned earlier on. By the way, this book is free for you. You're welcome. Use the link. Any one of the links will get a link on there. You'll download it for free. A positive mental attitude in action. That is faith. Having action, but having a positive motive behind it. Saying, it's going to work. I'm going to do it for that reason. Napoleon Hill. My mum, one of my favourite slides actually. If you do anything in life, make sure you do it with a positive. There's no point otherwise. Don't do things expecting to fail. You know, just don't do it. Ask yourself, why do I feel this is going to fail? Change your mindset. Have you ever thought? We all know Henry Ford, and he went out in the world and said, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right. So, if you've got a negative attitude, guess what? You're right. It's not going to work. But the moment you decide to step forward, the universe starts to refine. It starts to open doors for you. And the people who are not in their head have experienced this. We have this experience. You step forward, it starts coming your way. Even just to turn up the edge to listen. I'll go back to one more. Edith Cavell. She saved 200 soldiers' lives in the First World War, and her motto every single day was, I can do more. That's principally the bottom line. She woke up to the morning, she sat there and said, right, as part of a prayer, she finished the prayer, and she said, I can do more. So what am I doing in my life? I can do more. I can do more to help people. Who's going to make the change? In my world, you become the change in your life, because you're the only one who's going to be affected by it. You're the only one who truly, utterly cares. Do you get that? So we're creating the foundation and the structure around you to give you that, but you're the one who needs to step up and make a change. So be that change. My mission is to inspire and create a positive change in the world of others. I truly hope that I've done that today. Remember, the Dalai Lama. Most people say I haven't got the money. My father told me when I was young, he said, if you don't have the money, that's not really a problem. The Dalai Lama goes through and says that the money will come from wherever it is right now. Trust me, it's there. I'm in circles where I'm working with large figures and large amounts. It's there. I've seen those things. So it's there. It will come your way when you make an effort to walk towards it. Don't let money be your only reason for not doing something. Do remember, believe in better. Start to enjoy your life again. Back to the max. Be playful. Be jokey. Connect with people for who you truly are. And the only way is when you learn yourself through psychometrics, when you're totally show up and be of service to other people. I hope this has been helpful to you. Personally, I hope I've sincerely even helped you to think slightly different. Just slightly different. That's all I wanted to achieve today. Thank you for listening.